Anime Summit, Episode 16.
When we don't go to watch anime to get a boner, we watch it for entertainment, because that's what it is, entertainment.
The boners just come secondary.
Hello, and welcome to the Anime Summit Podcast, Episode 16. I am Kwoka, and with me I have Mac.
What's up, guys?
Som.
What's going on?
And I think I'm probably going to regret this, but Nick.
Quack!
Fucking for real.
Where's the space duck?
Because
Where's the
it's
space
Tutu.
duck?
She says quack. That's why I'm saying it.
Duck
Have you
Dodgers
guys seen
in
any
the
space ducks?
21st and a half century.
Wait, seriously, nobody got that? Team 4-star? Space ducks? Krillin?
I was talking about Princess Tutu. I don't know what you were talking about.
Wait, so
Okay,
you've never seen Team 4-stars on YouTube? The Dragon Ball Z abridged is what you're telling me.
Yeah, I've seen part of it, yeah. Damn, now
Yeah.
my mic is too quiet. Fuck.
Oh my god.
So
Nick.
while Nick tries to fix his inadequacies,
There ain't
Som
enough
and Mac,
medicine
what
for
have
that.
you been
Better.
up to for this last week?
I'm gonna be like really
Yeah,
quiet
dude,
on this
I just-
recording.
I've just been working a bunch. It's getting the busy season, so I work like at a place where we do hockey jerseys, and hockey season's like starting, so it's been pretty busy. But I've been trying to draw a little bit more.
Draw me like one of your French girls.
Don't sound
Oh
too
my
excited
gosh.
about it, Som.
I was trying to draw some best girls yesterday, and I just couldn't do it. I gotta
And
try
was down
again.
your pants the whole time, son.
Best girl drawn with my penis.
Speaking of best girl, Kwoka, who is this week's best girl?
We haven't finished our introductions,
Oh
Nick.
fuck! I thought
Oh
we
my
okay.
God,
Well, shit, that
Nick.
was a good segue though.
No, it wasn't. Your voice was far too monotone.
That's
I
what
mean,
going
come
for.
on.
Well, thanks for asking,
Oh.
Mac.
Oh yeah. So he can do it. He can do it. I can't do it.
I do have one more thing to say that happened in my week that was really stupid, but Matt can go. You go. I'll tell.
No, Sam, finish up. I
Okay.
insist.
So, games nowadays for PS3 and PS4. Like, remember when the PS3 came out and games were fucking $60?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
new games nowadays are $60, $70, right?
$60, yeah.
And, 70, 80 if they're, like, special,
No,
whatever.
just
But
60.
That's if you're in Australia or some backwards country.
I'm saying if it's, like, a special
Shots
edition
Yeah,
fired.
thing.
collectors and stuff.
Good day, mate.
Yeah. So, Street Fighter V, the pre-order's been out for a while, and it's $60, and I'm just like, I'll just wait. I know that Steam is gonna have like even a 25 or a 20% off sale during the holidays after it comes out, so I'll just wait. Blah blah blah. I'm not gonna pre-order this shit. I never really pre-order. I always wait. Just because I know I can get it cheaper after. So I always end up getting it last or whatever. But anyways, so Green Man Gaming decides to do a thing. They always have like this 25% off code thing, and they come out on Twitter and it's like, hey, by the way, tomorrow for like 10 hours, you can use this code on Street Fighter V to pre-order Street Fighter V. And I'm like, what? So I think it's a fucking joke. So it's like an hour and a half before it's over, and my friend messages me and he goes, do it now. Go, 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 go. It's not a joke. This is not a drill. And I'm like, fuck. So I impulse buyed it for $45. And I'm just like, well, cool. Now I don't have any money. Like, I fucking...
Hadouken!
Yeah, it was so bad.
Gotta
It-
sit
it
on that
was-
street corner, Sam. Make that up.
I know, I might. But, like, I don't think that's a bad idea. I got a brand new game for $45. That's pretty cool.
That's
Yeah,
better than
I
a
wouldn't
single
argue
magic
with that.
card for $55 I bought the other day.
God.
What card?
It's a Sword of Fire and Ice.
Jesus Christ.
Well, Nick, that's
No,
because
that's
you
'cause-
like
that's 'cause
being poor.
I had a windfall of cash. Someone gave me $20. I'm like, oh fuck it, I'll do
Someone gave me $20, so I should just go out and spend 60.
it. Well, no, like it's my shitty rationalizations for buying magic cards. I didn't draft all last month. That's $60 I saved not drafting. Bam.
That's true, actually, yeah. Save like $40. What'd you do, Mac? You party or what? You partied hard?
No partying this week.
Have you started
got-
packing for your new job?
My new
what?
job.
Mac got a new job?
No, I didn't. I hadn't heard back about it yet. But so I'm acting like I'm not going to get it, so I'm doing Toyota training and all that other crap. Blah 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 blah.
Is it sexual harassment training?
Thank God
Sexual
it's not.
harassment. Panda.
I didn't have to read through and sit in a presentation about Sharp or anything. Oh my God. Anyways, I got my car tinted too, but yeah, that's about it. Oh. I disabled the daytime running lights in my car. That was a big victory. Huge victory. I hate those damn things.
That's what
So
I have
retarded.
a Scion, and I don't think it has those.
It doesn't. Because it's a TC.
Nice.
Daytime lights? That sounds dumb.
Most new cars nowadays,
Yeah,
the
like
headlights
if you
are on low
put the car in drive,
all the
or like
time.
in my case, if I take the e-brake off, then the high beams come on, but like at half power. So it's like
weird.
Isn't that what they call low beams?
no, high beams at low power is
They're
high beams at
medium
low
beams.
power. Because I've got high beam bulbs, and then I've got low beam bulbs and projectors.
Well, it does make sense if you're going in a tunnel or a parking lot, like a big mall parking lot. Then you need.
But then you can just turn your lights on and then back off again. So.
Yeah, I know.
And most of those tunnels have lights in them, so it's like.
Yeah, and most of the
most
time when you go through a tunnel, you roll your windows down, you start beeping out songs on your horn, or you gun it, or you do other retarded
and you
things
change
like that.
lanes recklessly too. That's
Yeah.
how
Yeah,
you're
and
supposed to drive in a tunnel.
you just crash into somebody.
Straight up.
Real
I'm going
talk.
to change lane, go 4 lane over. Good
You're
luck,
supposed to-
everybody else.
You're supposed to drive. You're supposed to drive on the ceiling like in the movies, like Men in Black.
Yeah.
Family Guy
You
reference.
just
When I
drive
was-
up
I
the
read
left
this.
side, come down the right side.
Something like that.
But why did that sound very sexual? I don't know. Going into a tunnel.
I did, however, save a bunch of money by switching my car insurance to Geico. And
Dude,
when I
like-
signed up, they gave me a free Sailor Scepter.
Do it.
Speaking of Sailor
No.
Scepter,
In my last week, I got the awesome position on my school's student council as director of campus affairs.
Seto Kaijo.
I basically
Nice.
look over all the clubs, so I get to be the person that tells Ritsu that she hasn't turned in the paperwork to make K on a club.
Nice.
Or are you like Mako from Kill la Kill? President of the Fight Club?
Yeah, dude, be the Fight Club, president of
Yeah,
Fight Club.
pretty much.
Hey,
I'm gonna start
remember-
the Fight Club.
rule 1. Don't talk about Fight Club.
Yeah, you just shut up, Nick. Damn it.
Sorry.
Learn your place.
He's just like, sorry. My bad.
My bad.
That's awesome, though, dude.
So anyway, as Nick was going over earlier, who's the waifu of the week, Nick?
Well, we picked like 50 of them, but we ended up on Sailor Moon or Usagi or Serena for the English dub people.
Usagi, bro.
It's really Usagi, but I don't
She's
know.
an OG. She's an OG magical girl, though.
Yeah, I got
Real
a soft
talk.
spot for the English dub. I know it's
Not that OG, just somewhat OG.
Somewhat OG. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's when the magical girls really got big. Is Sailor Moon?
Yeah, I mean,
That's not
she's
really big.
the OG magical girl of our generation.
That's true.
Nah, but like even before that, they didn't have that much. Those super popular.
Yeah, so anyway, as we did mention in last week's episode, this week's episode is all about magical girls.
Yay!
Otherwise known as Mahou
Back
Shoujo,
fucking
the
hates
magical
magical
girl
girls.
genre.
But we're also talking magical girls, and we're also talking.
Yeah, well, we're lumping in what I call battle girls. Somebody please tell me what they're supposed to be called. Things like Strike Witches and Kantai Collection, where they
Or
kind of
Bubblegum Crisis, even.
they have significant magical girl influences. They just don't have the, magic part.
Right.
That's-
Bubblegum
that's
Crisis,
the real
there's
only
no
difference.
magic at all.
Oh,
And
Kill la
Strike-
Kill.
Strike
Bubblegum
Witches
Crisis
has-
Super Tokyo 2013.
Super Tokyo 2040 Deluxe Edition Turbo 5, the movie, the game.
Die in the game, die for real.
Tokyo Drift
5.
And a half.
with an
Electric
exclamation
Boogaloo.
mark and a comma at the end.
3000 Edition.
Put a semicolon in there too. Just fuck it.
And an
Game of the-
exclamation point.
Game
So I
of the Year
guess we
XDS.
should first all start with how
The game.
we got exposed to magical girls, or how the magical girls exposed themselves to us.
I think for me,
That doesn't
it was-
sound
Wow.
that doesn't sound pedophile at all. Like,
Well,
I'm on a
I was in
list
a dark
somewhere.
alley.
that's
And
actually
suddenly,
really funny.
Wow.
they just flashed me.
And I stood there not knowing what to do. God damn it. Nah, fucking. I think for me it was just Sailor Moon, straight up, because it was on UPN
Yeah,
right after
same.
Dragon Ball. Right before Ronin Warriors, Magical Boy. There you go.
Yeah, I
And,
was not so much into the Sailor Moon as much as the Cardcaptor Sakura,
That's one I
Yeah.
haven't seen much of. I
which
saw a
is
couple
just known
episodes.
as Cardcaptors in the U.S.
Dude, that came way after for me. Like, because I was watching Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball on UPN, like, when I was, like, 5 or 6. And then Cardcaptor didn't come until I was, like, in 6th grade, so I must have been, like, 10 or 11 years old.
Did that one
Or no.
start in the 90s or late?
11 or 12.
Okay.
Yeah, 90s.
Well, until I was like 12, I didn't know there was any anime except Totoro. Okay,
Really, dude? Wow, that's
no,
really
I
bad.
don't know what time it was. Let's just say that there was a time when I thought Pokemon was Totoro too.
Psh.
Totoro Drift.
Wow, you must have been retarded.
Need for Speed Totoro Drift.
The game.
The movie.
.com.
5. Panda
Let's
edition.
actually stay on topic, guys.
Yeah. What about you, Mac? Since you hate them, how did you start?
No.
You never
Get this
did.
right. Get this right. I don't hate the magical girl, aka Mahou shoujo genre.
Mac, let's just admit that you're a racist, okay?
I am not racist.
Why
You're
don't you
from
like
Tennessee,
Damn it,
okay?
Why don't you,
He's
why don't you
sexist.
like Mahou? You don't like Mahou
Okay.
shoujo stuff?
Okay, listen. About 2 years ago, I got into anime, and what spawned it honestly was me and a group of buddies went to Otakon 2013, and they were like, "Yo, you need to watch something before you go," and I'm like, "But all I've ever watched is Eureka 7," and
Hey yo.
yeah, no, don't even joke about that. That's not funny. Oh, bringing back some PTSD right there. Oh. But anyways, they were like, Madoka Magica is gonna be big this year at Otakon, and I said,
Wait, what year was this? 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 or 3 years ago, I think. I
So
don't know.
well after the show came out?
No, it was
Well,
right.
it was 2011. I mean, that's still, even if it's a year after, it's still going to be there,
right.
Gives people time to
2012,
cosplay.
correction. So it's been 3 years. Otakon 2012. I had to pull out my I still have my Otakon badge from it. But yeah, I watched it because they told me to, and I was like, this is pretty hype. But then again, it's not your typical magical girl anime. I mean, it just doesn't really appeal to me. The whole genre doesn't. And as I said, I'm not gonna hate on it this episode. I'm gonna try and give some
No,
decent.
we're gonna squeeze the salt out of you.
No, you're not going to. I'm sorry.
You got to grab between his belt. That's how you squeeze the
I'm-
salt out. Just like
I have repented. I have turned to the light side of the force. I am free. No
so
more.
Mac,
no
if
more
you
salt.
don't like magical girls, how do you feel about magical lesbians?
What the hell is your problem today?
it's Sakura trick with magic.
Yeah, otherwise known as Fate, Cowed Liner, Prisma Illya.
Oh God.
What
That's
is
also
Silverlink.
on Molly's.
Dude,
You know-
the next thing you know, he's gonna be like, "Hey Nick, how do you feel about bukkake?" Like,
You guys have
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
Rick and Morty. Am I the only
Just
one here who's seen Rick
how do you
and
feel
Morty?
about that?
There's a scene. Where
No,
they-
I've seen a couple episodes of Rick and Morty. Nick.
There's a scene where this girl talks about it. She's like, "Oh, I've seen bukkake. I don't know if I'd ever try it though." And it was just like in the background of an episode. It was so funny. It had, like nothing to do with the episode.
Yeah, I remember that. That was pretty funny.
Then she ends up
Cool.
dating the bird person. And he
Cool
calls
story,
himself
Nick.
bird person.
Cool story.
see how mad he gets because he's never seen Rick and Morty.
Dude, Rick and Morty, anime of the year.
Yeah,
Wait,
I mean,
so basically, Mac is sipping on haterade then.
yeah.
No,
Mac is
no,
sipping
I'm
on
not.
Haterade.
I am not sipping on haterade. I just, everybody likes their own genres of anime. Call me a filthy casual, like you say, Sam. But I only watch things that I'm interested in. And
Yeah.
to
I
be
only watch
honest,
the good stuff.
So,
That's right.
Sam, I believe you were not in here during the pre-show where I went over this just really quickly. But what would you say the main source of magical girl inspiration is?
Like when a new magical girl anime comes out, like
No,
what's
the
inspiration?
where the original. Where did magical girls come from?
I think it came from freaking honestly, dude. Back in the day, when they're trying to market to girls, market to boys, all that shit. I think it came from old tokusatsu shows like Kamen Rider and Kikaider and Morphin Power Rangers, and people were just like, you know what? Let's have 5 and I know that some of the Power Rangers were girls and stuff too, like like the Pink Ranger and Yellow Ranger, but even like Kamen Rider, he was this guy. He had a transformation sequence. He came on a motorcycle. He beat the bad guys. There were 2 more after him, so there were 3 of them. And I think they were finally just like, no, let's just have one of all girls. It's like, but instead of using like cool armor and all this stuff, they're magical and they're prettier that way. And we have an excuse to market to girls and they can dress up as princesses and have cool dresses and sailor costumes and shit. And honestly, I think that's what the inspiration is.
You would be absolutely wrong.
Well, he's talking about the modern stuff. Like,
yeah. So, like, a lot of the things that you pointed to as, like, transformation sequence and stuff was not so much...
You guys, we have to stop. Hold on a sec. I don't know what just happened, but I think I just shit my pants. But, I mean, anyways, that's just my guess. I've never done the research about when that genre started or nothing.
Well, tell me wrong.
You would be wrong. You would be completely wrong. So some of the things you talked about were the whole, like, transformation sequences are actually just a nature of trying to keep animation cheap because it cuts out how much you have to originally animate, just like how...
Plus it sells merchandise.
Not even that. That wasn't the focus back then. It was just about... you have a long opening, a long ending, and large transformation sequences, because then you get to cut that 22 minutes down to only, like, 15 minutes of actual new content.
Right, or
even less.
Because 2 to 5 minutes of it is someone transforming or something.
Yeah, the Sailor Moon English dub was especially guilty because they had to change it for American television to like make it more kid friendly. So they edited like 20 to 30% of each episode to be different from the other one, and they did that with the transformation sequences. So like Kwoka was saying, the sequences are a lot more prevalent.
Yeah, and so there were some magical girl sort of stuff, like what you could call the early magical girl back in the 50s and early 60s, but the true spring to popularity that led to magical girls as a genre was actually an American TV show.
Was it Hogan's Heroes?
No, it was Firefly, dude.
It was Firefly.
Firefly back in the 60s.
It was Bewitched, actually. When they did the Japanese dub, it caused popularity of witches in general. So then that led to Sally the Witch in 1966 being the first magical manga that became an anime, and it is the first magical girl anime.
Yep, and
Fun fact for all you out there.
Those early magical girl shows were a lot more geared towards kids, and actually a lot of the early anime was geared towards kids. And what you saw as
because adults aren't gonna sit through 8-minute openings, 15-minute endings, and 3-minute transformation sequences.
But the other part is like post-war Japan had to cater to like they made the cartoons for kids, and then as those kids grew up, they started making cartoons for teenagers and adults. So the 80s and 90s were really when you started to see the more adult stuff more often. And that's why like you got the kid magical girls early on, and then you got the teenager ones in the 90s with Sailor Moon, and then you got like you keep going on from there and you go in cycles.
Right.
Kind of all like American cartoons, how it started with Mickey Mouse and stuff, and then it wasn't until the people that grew up with Mickey Mouse were older that things like The Simpsons came out.
The mice are having sex in the walls.
Freaking I remember watching like they would show the old Goofy and Mickey cartoons late at night on Disney Channel, and then they took it away. Shit was stupid.
Oh, actually, Disney added like a disclaimer to their old cartoons because like a lot of their old cartoons were
show the old super racist.
Yeah, like they were racist and bigoted and like really violent and stuff. But what they didn't change the content. They just put a disclaimer at the front. They'd be like, "Oh, this was a different time, but take it for what it's worth."
Which I think is better than just trying to make it disappear.
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Just another fun fact. So there's one of those super racist episodes that was during the World War II, or was dealing with the whole Japanese invasion thing.
Oh, with Donald
super
or
racist
whatever?
stuff with Asians. No, it was Bugs Bunny.
Oh, okay.
And
there was a Donald one.
He actually puts on Marine Corps dress blues, and then the Marine Corps officially made him a Marine. You got no comments on that?
I'm just trying to find the Wayne's World quote about Bugs Bunny turning into a girl. Did you ever find Bugs Bunny attractive when he put on a dress?
What?
Oh man.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I'm looking at Wayne's World, guys.
No, freaking
What?
there was a Donald cartoon like that. But anyway, Magical Girls.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
Magical
Bugs
Girls.
Bunny with the dress is kind of a girl, so magical.
So then, of course, in the 90s, Sailor Moon really brought a new surge of popularity to the genre. Hence why at least two of you said Sailor Moon was the first thing of Magical Girls that you ever saw.
Heck
That was
yeah.
the first.
To be perfectly honest, it's probably the first thing I saw too, because I have very vague memories of Sailor Moon.
I
Well,
have
when I
they
was
aired it
little.
on
And that
American
built in
TV too.
a lot more of the tropes of the series or
I
the
guess-
genre.
I guess I just have a very good memory of it because I always think back to the first time I started watching anime, and that was on UPN when they would show it in the morning with Dragon Ball, Rona Warriors, and Sailor Moon.
I
And
think
When
that's
you were
true for a
just
lot
a
of
fat
people.
little kid with
I think, yeah,
diabetes.
I think that's
Well-
definitely true for a lot of.
A lot of people in their early to like anybody who's in like 20 to 30 age range is probably has that same experience. But
Yeah, yep, definitely.
And I mean,
And-
I could be wrong when I say Cardcaptors was the first thing. Cardcaptors is the first thing that I can really remember watching.
Right.
I'm sure I saw Sailor Moon, but not necessarily watched it.
I loved that show. I remember the episode where
So it's still good. I watched it earlier this year.
Cardcaptors,
When
Mystic
she-
Adventure.
when she had to like be put through the test, and then she passed the test, and then she got like a new scepter and shit. It was cool. And then
Oh, Cardcaptor?
yeah, then Kiro turned into that big kitty with wings, and he was like a lion all of a sudden. It was cool.
Well, if you
Kitty,
notice,
kitty.
there's kind of also
meow.
then the sub genres of magical girls, where it's like there's the magical girls that are fighting some great evil that generally comes back again and again and again.
Yeah.
Cube.
And yeah, or whatever the Queen of Darkness in Sailor Moon is. And then there's
there's
the
a
other
lot of villains in
ones
Sailor Moon.
that are more like the collectors, where it's like card captors, where they collect magical items, where
Yeah.
there isn't necessarily a great evil outside of maybe somebody else that wants these items,
Yep.
which normally isn't generally that evil. It's just a rival, more so.
Right. Because she like opened the book or whatever, and then she has to put them all back.
Yeah,
'cause-
she let all the cards out.
She opened the
How many of them were there? There was like 50, right, or 40? I don't
That
remember.
show had a
As
lot
many
of
as they could
episodes.
go
There's
until
like
people got
100
sick of
plus
it.
episodes.
Who let the cards out?
Oh,
At
70
least
episodes,
151. On
Yeah,
to our
they-
next
actually, so-
onto our next magical girl show, Pokemon.
Yeah, Misty.
What? What?
Yeah, dude, Pokemon was legit.
Well,
So
yeah,
then
so
in,
Falco was talking about the different subtypes.
So I think it's pretty easy to say though, like that freaking Kwoka's favorite magical girl anime is Madoka Magica.
Well, see, we haven't gotten there yet, Sam. We're still in the 90s.
Okay, so you're
Still in
talking
the
about
90s.
Cardcaptor. Then there's like the Sentai, so like the team of girls who, well, that's kind of the same we were talking about. They fight an evil. Then there's the Idol girls.
You know, if you change
Yeah,
the
magical
S for an
idols,
H
but-
in Sentai, it becomes hentai.
Jesus Christ.
Very good input, Mac.
Mac.
I'm sorry. Nick was talking, and I had to pull a Nick, and yeah, that happened.
Yeah, so but up through the 90s, magical girls still focused on younger girls, and not necessarily always for merchandise and stuff, because it was normally guys shows that like little boy shows that trended towards toys more so than
No, I
little
think
girl
they-
shows.
I think they sold a lot with
I'm sure they did, but it's
well,
not
Sailor Moon,
necessarily.
mostly, but
You see far less shows for girls that are about selling merchandise than you see ones for boys.
Merchandising.
I don't know. I mean, you might be right.
But it's all about,
Don't
you
have
know,
a
the
source.
love and friendship and how we're independent and we don't need no man. And then Tuxedo Mask comes in and saves them every single time.
Let's live our lives heroically. Let's live them with style. I'm just quoting.
What?
I'm just quoting Revolutionary Girl Utena. I wrote this in my notes so I can say it.
When did that show come out? Have we gotten
That
there
was
yet?
that was 97. That's in the 90s. So, Revolutionary Girl Utena was like, it's kind of an advanced magical girl show because you shouldn't really watch it before watching something like Sailor Moon or just like a basic magical girl show. Not to say Sailor Moon's basic. Sailor Moon's actually like a really really good show by itself. Like, but yeah, Utena is more of like a psychological shoujo with magical girl elements. Like they do have transformations and stuff, and it's very. If you've ever seen the show Penguindrum, it has the same guy who worked on that, so there's a lot of symbolism in it, and it's often like thought of as one of the best magical girl shows, like that one, Princess Tutu, and then obviously the most popular ones, Madoka Magica and Sailor Moon, but Utena is like a lot more of a. It's a lot more psychological. It's kind of like the Evangelion of magical girls, if that would make sense.
Yeah.
A little bit.
So you're saying it's a deconstruction?
No, I don't even want to say. I'm not even gonna say that word. I'm just gonna get shit on for saying it. It's not really like it's just like it's like a psychological show. It's like coming of age, and she's trying to figure out what to do.
She's trying to find out
like,
about these new changes
there's so much
happening to her
symbolism.
body.
Like I can't even. I just finished the show like this week actually. So like, there's the main protagonist Utena, and she's kind of like a tomboy character, and she has to fight these duels with the student council, and you'll actually see a lot of what is it? If anyone, you guys have all seen Kill la Kill, so like the setting of Kill la Kill, the school of Kill la Kill is based off of the school for Utena. So like the student council lives at like a giant fucking tower, and like she has to go up these elevators, and like her transformation sequence is like her going up an elevator with this epic music playing, but it's like every episode, so it's like kind of repetitive but funny.
It's the eye of the tiger.
Yeah, pretty much.
Every episode for
That's-
5 minutes, just her sitting in an elevator.
Yeah, I'm
That's
not
the
here to
final-
like summarize the show.
Final countdown is better.
That was just me talking for like 3 minutes.
Damn, a whole.
That show's
3
good
minutes.
as hell though. Like you guys should see it. And it also has a movie which kind of like it does the Madoka thing where it kind of recaps it a little bit, but the movie's it's only one movie and it kind of reimagines it. It's kind of like
Does it step up the quality?
well, it's a movie, so yeah, the animation looks way better, but
Yeah, but some shows don't necessarily step it up that much.
for movies, like you have a budget and you only have like an hour and a half, 2 hours, so you can just put all that budget into there. That's like 4 episodes.
Shut up and take my money.
Except a movie is the same length as a season.
No,
Let's just agree. Okay, can
what?
we all just
Movie's
agree?
like an hour and a half. The Utena movie was an hour and a half, so that's
Yeah.
equivalent to
Yeah,
like 4 episodes, whatever, give or take.
4 episodes.
Well, if
Yeah,
an
'cause-
episode's about 20 minutes, then yeah.
Yeah, the episode
Yeah,
is
but
about
now
20
you got to factor in OPs and EDs
Oh,
and
they don't have to reanimate that. They just
Gotta get
reuse that.
OPs and EDs.
God, why are we
yeah, but that's
talking
what I'm
about-
saying. So you get to cut that out in terms of funding because you only do that once.
Oh yeah, so that's like
So then you
Whatever.
end up with really like a 15-minute.
no,
If not less.
actually no, because we're still including that, so it's 23 minutes including.
And then you have 8 minutes of elevator.
Whoa.
Every
This
episode.
this is getting way too meta. Okay,
Yeah, I know. It's like who
this
cares?
is getting way too meta.
Utena's a
So
good
then
show.
we get to
Everybody watch
the
it.
early 2000s, and we get introduced to Magical Girl Lyrical Nanoha, which was a magical girl show for dudes.
And was that the Idol one where they because it's lyrical? Were they singing?
It's probably one of the best white short stacks out there. Just saying.
Probably. No,
It is.
Lyrical Nanoha is one of those ones that I've wanted to watch, and
I heard it's pretty sweet. I haven't watched
just
it.
too
But
damn. I know because they just did a new season of it this year,
Do they have any of
or
those like
possibly a reimagining.
singing and dancing numbers? Do
Singing
they just like
and
break into song and dance? I
dancing.
feel like they could go West Side Story. I've never seen it though.
So then we move through the
Oh, shit, I'm
2000s.
asking the question. Fuck. Wait, no, none of us have seen it. That's why we were. Okay.
Yeah, none of us
Carry
see it, so we
on.
can't answer any of the questions. So we move through the 2000s
Whoa,
to
wait,
what
whoa,
becomes.
whoa! Princess Tutu.
Oh yeah, and
That's like the
Puchipuri
best
Yuchi.
magical girl show.
Puchipuri Yuchi by Gainax.
Okay, besides that, but no, real talk though. Sam's seen Princess Tutu. I don't know if Mac probably hasn't seen it.
No, I haven't.
Mac's like, fuck
Wait,
this.
why would you ask me that?
I don't know. Well, Sam, you've seen it though, right? Because your brother saw it.
I don't think
Because
I
Sam
have.
is his brother. They're Siamese twins.
Yeah.
We're
they're-
Siamese twins.
Okay, fuck. Well,
Wait.
I gotta learn you
Sam's
guys.
brother. Say something into the mic.
I'm gay.
Got him. Savage.
Got him.
Hold up. I'm just gonna pull it up here. Princess Tutu. Blah blah blah. blah
You know
blah.
what? I have seen a little bit of this, but not with Sudi. Not with my brother.
Not the whole thing. Yeah, this one's Hal Filmmaker, I think. Yeah, whatever. They're like one of those old studios who's not a studio anymore. But 2002, Princess Tutu. It's like a classical music magical girl. It's kind of like a kids show, but it also blends into like being an adult.
Like I
show.
have seen some of this where it seems to be heavily focused on ballet and stuff. How does the magical girl elements fit into that? Like what I've seen of
so
it does
basically,
not
the main
make it seem like a
character
magical girl show.
the main character is a duck, and she's in this story written by the guy
Okay.
named Drosselmeyer, and he's
Main
writing a
character's a duck.
story. Yeah, the main character is literally a duck,
Main
and
character's a
they
duck,
call her
yeah.
duck. And she
Quack.
transforms into a human, and then also transforms into Princess Tutu. And there's sequences, and she fights with Ballet, and she has to get parts of this guy's heart, and then they have to like finish the story, and then that's basically like the gist of the show. So they're trying to do that, and then there's all this like great classical music in the background, and like pretty good scenes and stuff. So, and it's actually really funny. So, you guys would like it. Everybody would like it, probably.
Nice, dude. What do you? Well, then, I mean,
it's dark too. Like, so.
What do you guys see in like? What do you guys want in a magical girl anime? I mean, fuck Mac because he doesn't like them, but.
No. Let's ask Mac. Actually, let's ask Mac because if he doesn't like it, what does he want for him to like it?
That's a good question. Yeah.
Shit. I wasn't expecting anything like this.
Hey Mac, if we wanted to make a magical girl show that was something that you would like, because you hate magical girls.
I never said I hate them. Oh my gosh.
Just because you're racist doesn't mean you gotta be mad.
Okay. Shut up, Nick. I hadn't said that the whole freaking podcast. But you know what? You brought a little bit of the inner salt out on me. Shut up, Nick.
I'm not even talking now.
Shut up, Nick.
So if you had to, though, like, does it have to be super serious? Can it be, like, you know what I mean?
Well, see, I'm not into the big frilly transformation scene bullshit, to be honest.
Well, okay, but we'll know.
Oh,
like, we're
you
also
gotta
talking...
have that, though, dude. You gotta have some form of
because
it.
we're also kind of talking about, like, you know, Bubblegum Crisis and, you know, and Symphogear, which is one I'm going to mention later. But, you know, it, like, you know, does it have to be, like, Clannad serious? Does it have to be Psychopath serious? Or, like,
K-On serious.
K-On serious.
Yeah,
Definitely. I can't see K-On crossed with Magical Girl working at all for
That'd
me.
be great.
I love feels.
What if you threw in magical girls making out?
God, what is
Oh
your
my
problem?
God, Kwoka.
I like how we all suggested
What is-
like our perfect suggestion.
Seriously.
for our personal-
Okay, pause.
You know, like
pause.
maybe
Hold the
just
phone. Kwoka.
some 10-year-olds.
What in the shit is wrong with you?
Kwoka,
You
never
keep bringing
become a
up
teacher.
Yuris and
Dude.
lollies.
Carolina
What is
Prisma
wrong with
Illya is
you?
Just so good.
Kwoka. I am too drunk for this. Don't do this to me.
Kwoka, how could you give me shit for like a Nana Biori? Nana Biori has moe and Laoi.
How come,
I
like...
don't give you shit.
Are we just all going to
for it.
ignore the fact that Kwoka the whole time has just been, like, a pervert? Like... He's just like, oh, what about lesbians, you know? Like,
Kwoka's
like
a
it's just like...
pervert. Samzi and Khan.
Hey, no
Next to
problem.
Reyes.
Som. How do you feel about foreskins?
Four skins, plural. Yeah, I have 3 of them. One's on my finger. That'd be actually pretty
So
fun.
anyway, we
Some
move
fingernails.
through the 2000s to what would be
Wait, Mac has to answer the question.
obviously recognized as the pinnacle of magical girls in the form of Cute High Earth Defense Club love.
Agreed. I haven't seen it, but
I'm waiting for Kwoka to say something perverted because I know it's coming.
Which, as of course you all know, since everybody has seen this show, how it starts with
I haven't.
some... Well, as you have all totally seen this show, how... Because it's the greatest magical girl show of all time, where it starts with some high school guys chilling out in the bath at their high school, and
Oh.
a pink wombat falls out of a portal and decides that he needs them to save the world.
sounds about right.
Yeah, because this is the new generation of magical girls that are referred to as,
Magical boys.
wait for it, magical boys.
Magical boys.
Kwoka's
Well,
gone
I
full
like-
Shota Con.
Hey, you
So yeah, Sam,
fucking-
what's or not
Kamchutka
Sam, Mac, what's the
Bliss.
deal? What's the deal? What do we have to do to make you love your magical lesbians?
Oh
Can I
my
just pitch
God.
Mac a show? Can I pitch you a show? Okay, it's like K-On, but then there's romance, and then somebody dies at the end, and then some other stuff happens, and then there's also mechas, and then they transform into the mechas.
And then
Yeah,
the main girl is reunited with her father,
And then?
who abandoned her at age 3.
And then?
and then it's a reset,
then-
and none of it happened. It was just a dream.
And
And
then?
then she hugs him and cries in his arms and tells him that her foster parents told her that she could only cry in the bathroom or in her dad's arms.
Oh, too soon.
Oh God, I think I know what you're talking about. Let's avoid spoilers.
You gotta do this to me. Why?
Would that be your favorite magical girl show?
Are there euphoniums?
We'll call it Hi Becky Euphonium After Story.
No.
Yes.
High bike ufotable after story magical girl the animation.
Okay.
God damn.
I like
So-
how Mac is talking, or Kwoka's talking about new generation of magical girl. But
Yeah,
he hasn't
Magical
mentioned
Boys.
Symphogear once. Like,
Called out. Oh. See,
I'm Kwoka.
he's
I know
too
everything.
busy.
My balls are big.
He's too
Maybe
no,
Mac,
no.
the reason
He's-
I didn't
he's
talk
too
about
busy
Symphogear
thinking
is
about-
because Symphogear is an idol anime.
Which is Magical
No,
Girl.
Actually, I mean, it kind of is an idol anime, but they don't even like
And
focus on
maybe
that part
some
that
I
much.
haven't mentioned Symphogear because that's your job to mention shows that you've seen.
Speaking
Okay,
of
well,
Symphogear,
hurry up then. Like, you
Ah.
know, I don't think we need to know the history of magical girls here. I mean, let's just be real here. Okay, Symphogear is not. Here's the thing about Symphogear. Okay, it's not amazing, but if you want to see idols,
Here's the thing about Symphogear. It's just terrible, but
I've heard the same.
You should
Actually,
watch it.
it's like a train wreck, but it's like Guilty Crown.
No.
Like, it's not
Quokka
good,
think
but you love it.
Quokka
No, like I
thinks
said-
it's
like I
terrible
said, it's
because
not very-
there's
It's like
no
so bad it's good.
lesbians,
Yeah,
there's
No.
no penis,
dude, I'm
It's not
gonna
so-
watch this show.
there's no
No,
girl
like I said-
love,
like I
there's
said,
no
it's not-
yaoi, there's
it's not
no
very
futa.
good.
This is the kind of
Like I
show
s-
that I watch and give it a 4 out of 10, but I fucking love it. Like,
Okay, shut up.
Shut
like
up,
I
Best
Nick.
show ever. 6
Like-
out of 10.
Here's the thing: Symphogear is better than fucking Love Live because Love Live's shit. Okay, first.
Oh.
Second of all,
God's fired.
Symphogear is nostalgic to like the fucking Battle Girl, Magical Girl, you know, and I think it kind of loses its plot because of that shit, and that's why it's bad. But I like it because the armor just looks really cool, the action is really cool, and it reminds me of Galaxy Fraulein Yuna, which is one I watched as a kid, and Idol Girls Idol Girls singing to transform into their cool power battle suits is what Yuna was, and that's why I was all like in love with Symphogear when it came out. And actually, Symphogear GX just finished. It's like the end of the summer season.
Dude, I feel you though, because like, I love when they have action scenes with music in the middle of it, like on Macross. Or
Yeah,
Macross
dude.
Frontier.
Yeah, Macross Frontier, dude, that was legit.
That
Like,
show was hype as fuck. It had Yoko Kanno or whatever, or whoever did the Cowboy Bebop music. She did the
Yeah,
music for
yep.
Macross Frontier.
Yeah, it's Yoko Kanno.
It was
Yep.
fucking great.
Not
But,
to be
like,
confused with Yoko Ono.
Man,
oh God, not even close.
Okay,
Yoko
okay,
Kanno's a legend.
I told myself I wasn't gonna do this. I really did. I'm trying to turn a new leaf. But Yoko Ono sucks. I mean,
We
oh
all
my
agree.
god.
Yeah, no contest.
Thank you.
Okay,
Okay,
end of,
I
end of
had
that
my moment.
topic.
So as we've gotten this far somehow without talking about the elephant in the room, we have to go to what is the clear end of the magical girl genre. Maybe not chronologically,
The one that I've actually seen.
but thematically. It took everything that magical girls built themselves up to be. This bastion of hope, overcoming evil every time, where the threats against them were never actualized whatsoever.
And then the
And just-
magical girl genre met Jin Urobachi.
Yes.
It meant Yuki
Well.
Yuna is a hero, the best magical girl show of all time.
No.
Or really Akiyuki Shimbo, because Urabachi just helped refine it, while Akiyuki Shimbo really
Well, he just
Really
he
created
just
it.
did the,
Okay, if you haven't figured it out yet, we're talking about Madoka
he just
Magica,
did
Yeah,
he
okay?
was
Madoka
director, He
Magica.
wasn't the scriptwriter.
Mahou Shoujo Madoka Magica
Paula Magi.
Madoka
Madoka
Magical
Magica.
from 2010.
11. Is it 11?
2010.
It was
Finished
11
in
totally.
2011.
What?
Same year as Steins Gate.
I don't know. Something I saw said 2010.
Dude, how
Yeah,
is it your
2011.
favorite show?
I
You don't
how
even
I
know
got
the
that.
year. What
I
is
don't know how I
this?
got that. I was just looking at something. Maybe that was a typo.
Wow.
The key thing, like, we're inevitably gonna, if you haven't seen Madoka, go watch it first off, and we're gonna try not to hit the hardcore spoilers, but we're gonna end up spoiling parts of it.
Yeah,
And
Why
so
are we
if you
spoiling it? Let's not spoil anything.
yeah, so if you
Never
haven't
spoil
No,
seen
like I'm saying, we're
Madoka
trying to
yet,
talk about Madoka. Yeah, just if you haven't seen it yet,
Madoka,
go watch it. Come
Madoka.
back.
Yeah, if you
I
haven't
don't
seen
know.
it yet,
Wait,
hit
are
pause
we
here.
actually gonna do
Tre-
spoiler talk or not? Because we haven't done it for any other
Dude, Nick,
shows.
I already just said this. No major spoilers, like no super fucking spoilers, but we're gonna end up probably spoiling things just in the concept of trying to discuss it properly.
Hey,
Right.
hey, Kamchuka, how do you feel about
So
Hamura?
tread at your own. Tread at your own
Hamura.
risk.
Hamura.
Can't
Okay.
do
Hamura.
nothing
I
wrong.
like dipping my chips in Hamura.
You guys are retarded. No, Madoka Magica is actually, even magical girl or not, it's just really good. So I mean,
Yeah, there's lots of things just in how it weaves the story in.
Yeah.
As you can go back and rewatch it, everything is done so precisely that it just
Yeah.
fits perfectly. Nothing is out of place. And
Yeah.
the way that the story and the way it develops the details leads you exactly along the same path that the characters are going through. Where there's just certain questions that because you think you know magical girls, that there's just certain questions that you don't ask. And the characters don't ask them either. And then you find out, like, if you had asked that question, like, hey, so these witches that we fight, what are these witches? But
I don't know
no,
if
you
they
never
ever
ask
answer
that.
that
You don't
really.
watch Sailor Moon and really think like, oh, hey, like, what are these bad guys? You just kind of like, whatever. Okay, we get it. They're bad.
right.
I mean, they kind of answer it in the show. I don't know. Okay, Mac. Are we gonna team up and 2v2 this?
I don't know what.
Should me and Mac
what
be
should I
like
say?
we are not fans of it, and then Sam and Kwoka are?
What? No, I'm totally a fan of
Oh man,
Madoka
come
Magica.
on, come on,
Madoka
Mac.
Magica's
Sorry.
solid. No, I'm saying like when you're
Okay.
watching it, you don't think as you're going through. When you get introduced to the concept of witches, you don't think, well, where do witches come from? Like
They're,
when they went through
Like
the
they-
whole, they went through
Well,
the
let's
Reddit
see here.
rewatch,
You're saying
and
you're
nobody
saying-
asked that
when
question.
an old witch loves a sorcerer,
They fuck.
they
Yeah, so like
No,
in the
no,
entire
yes.
rewatch thread, I was reading all the comments that people were talking about it. None of the people asked, what's with these witches? Nobody asked that question. And then you hit that moment where you find out what the witches are, and you're just like,
It's
Do
one
you
of those.
take-
shit.
It's one of those rare cases or rare times in a story where the enemy is being questioned, and it's just like, what are we actually doing? What are we actually fighting? And that just makes for a good story. Like, I don't know. I just
Well,
think it does. 'Cause-
well,
I
not
think the big
not
thing about it
just
is
that.
the fact that it's not weaved where they're leaving this information out and you see this like as a void of information. People
Yeah,
don't
it's-
like, you don't even acknowledge it.
no, right? Exactly.
it's
exactly.
not just all of that, but it's also the fact that Madoka does what any other great anime, yes, I said great, should do, and that's draw the audience into the atmosphere of the actual show. I mean,
Well,
you
that's
can
just
feel for
Chef
these
Vision
characters.
There, that's just Shimbo.
You can feel for these ungodly head tilts at weird angles. I mean,
Not really.
you
In
understand
general, I
it.
would say out of everything, even though I don't know, it's really hard to say. Like the art style of Madoka in terms of the normal stuff, obviously the labyrinths are highly stylized for very specific reasons.
It's like
and a lot of the
grandma's
show
quilt.
is stylized.
It's like a collage or a kaleidoscope.
At the same time as the animation, well, the art style, I should say, is fairly different and fairly minimalist, as this was a Shaft original, so they couldn't get as much outside funding for it. It's hard to say that the show would be better with a more
Gritty, like
developed art style.
pre-digital.
And I'm not saying gritty, like stepping it up to what shows of the time are with higher budgets.
right.
Because a lot of the things that they do are just toned down the budget.
looked
The
like it
whole
had a high
concept,
budget.
what would make you think Madoka had a high budget ahead of time?
I mean, it looked colorful and pretty consistent. I don't know. I didn't look that closely, but
Just look at the eyes. The eyes are an entire way of we didn't we're trying to cut back on things.
Or that could be Ufotable, who just doesn't give a fuck about eyes.
Ufotable.
They're all lifeless dolls.
They still have good
Ufotable.
looking eyes. But
Damn
the
it,
thing is, like,
Nick.
being an original, they can't point to, you can't point to a manga or a light novel or anything that's been successful. You just have to say, look at the things that we've made.
But it's
And
Shaft.
Shaft,
The thing is,
yeah,
they
but
have
Shaft still had to get
and
that money
Shinbo-
from people.
No, Shaft had a lot of money. They had Bakemonogatari. That was the highest selling anime ever. No, it was. And then, until Madoka, and then Madoka, I think they're both up
Baka
there.
Monogatari.
Yeah, but at that same time, Bakemonogatari.
Bakemonogatari. Jack, how do you pronounce it then?
I can't even.
Seriously.
I can't. Now I'm getting confused on how you're supposed to say it.
It's Bakemonogatari. That's it.
It wasn't an original.
Bake Monogatari.
That's it.
No, I'm
it
saying-
wasn't an original.
No, this is why I'm saying
That
they have
means
a
that
budget.
Shaft
They
did
had a
not
budget
get
because-
all that money.
Okay, I'm just saying they didn't have a low budget because they had a ton of money.
Oh,
from the
I'm not
Monogatari
saying this
series.
is like some terrible Studio Dean, like knockoff funding level.
You want low
I'm just
budget,
saying
go
this
on,
is
like,
not
anime shows, like,
a
they
high
don't-
budget show because they could not point to a show. They could not point to a property and be like, "This is successful. This will be successful." They had to make it with their in-house money, which studios do not have a lot of in-house money. Even
Shaft had a lot at the time though, because that was right after Bakemonogatari. It's like
yeah, you say a lot,
they
but
did have a lot. That was the highest selling
I
anime.
swear to God.
now it is.
No, it was back then too. Like it was the biggest selling.
Yeah, and how much of that went to Shaft?
I don't enough to make a good budget for Madoka, man. They just piled them onto each other.
An
Now they got a
okay
lot of money.
budget. It's right off the bat, they couldn't point to something that was actually profitable.
I know-
So they had to
I get
actually
what
make
you're
it with
saying.
almost entirely their own money, which automatically cuts down the money because studios do not have nearly as much money as publishers and producers. This is just facts of the industry.
I'm saying it was not.
it's hard
a
to
low
say-
budget show. It was not low budget. for
Yeah,
sure.
it's not low
It was
budget,
at
but
least
it's not.
average or even above.
It
I
is
think
not
was
high
probably-
budget. It's probably not even average budget.
It was probably above that, above average for sure. We should really have looked this up before.
Well, it's a big.
It's kind of hard
There's
to find
not that much.
budgets.
There's not much information on a lot of these Japanese companies.
Does the
Dude, the Japanese studios have burn days where they just go and basically trash everything
Yeah.
from shows that are done.
I mean, does the anime encyclopedia have info on it or not? Sometimes it does. I don't know.
not on. they
Okay,
never
we're
have
getting
money
meta
on
again.
money.
Yeah, whatever. Let's just.
Anyway, the point
cut off
was,
that couple
it's hard
minutes.
to say. Like, as much as Madoka's animation is definitely not what pulls you into the show. I mean, when you get to labyrinths and stuff, that is obviously a huge style. And later on, as it shows certain scenes, you recognize where the strengths of the art style are. But the core animation is something that, for most people, is a turnoff because it is just kind of like different and it feels low quality.
Well, see, for me, whenever I was watching it, this is coming from somebody who I had only seen like the shows like Fooly Cooly and Eureka 7 on Adult Swim. And I'd only seen a few episodes of each, though obviously since there's only 6 episodes of Fooly Cooly, I'd seen it all. But I came into Madoka. Bleh. I can't pull a Nick. I came into Madoka, and I was like, "Oh,
Madoka.
this looks pretty cool." And then we got to the first labyrinth with the witch, and I'm like, "What in the hell is going on here?" But overall, I don't think the animation was bad whatsoever. But it was just different. It was something that you weren't really expecting, and that kind of pulls you in, or at least I thought it did. It pulls you into the show and really adds to the overall feel of it.
I mean,
Boom.
that's one thing I liked. I did like how they kept the tone the same, because we have some shows that are airing right now. There's School Live where they have happy and then they have zombie, and then it's like it doesn't. The tonal shifts are too much. And Madoka actually, I did like how
I
they
wouldn't
kept
say
it.
School Live.
Watch-
is one of
watch-
those shows
watch
that
your
has
tone,
that
Nick.
issue.
Nick,
there are
Nick,
shows that
Nick,
have that
Nick,
issue.
Nick, shut up,
but
shut up,
do
Nick,
not
shut up,
think
Nick.
School Live
Nick,
is
Nick,
one of
Nick,
those.
Nick,
It is
shut up.
one of those. But that, okay, I'm just saying that I liked how they stayed one tone. My main complaint though is like there just wasn't enough episodes or exposition for Madoka. Like all the other shows have, plenty of episodes, like 20, 30, 70, 100 episodes.
Some would
Build
say
up
too
all
much.
the characters. Yeah, I mean, arguably some of them are too much. Some of them get a bit episodic, and that's like part of the genre. But Madoka didn't have enough, in my opinion. I feel like they should have had more. I didn't
For what purpose?
to develop the characters more because
Which character?
I
how?
wasn't attached to
How?
I wasn't attached to any character in the show. Period.
How could
Just
they have
because they
done
didn't get
that
enough
any
time.
better?
How could they
Yeah,
have
I
done
really-
it better? There's a lot
I
of things
don't-
they could have done better. Like I
Did
can't get into
did
all
you
of it.
watch the show, Nick?
Yeah, I watched it. I watched the
No,
movie
I mean like,
today too.
did you watch it?
I
Yeah.
mean, I'm sorry. This kind of goes without saying. I mean, Madoka Magica is really good. I think
really
we need
popular.
to move on. I think we need to move on to more of like the stigma of magical girls, which is frilly transformations, awesome action, and in Kwoka's case, naked little girls.
Naked lollies.
Shout out Prisma Illya.
In trench coats in an alleyway, surprising him.
I mean, I'm just
They're
saying
revealing
we gotta mention other things because we all know that Kwoka's got a mad hard on for Madoka Magica, and I think we can all agree that it's really good.
I'm looking at my Madoka figure.
No,
right
I
now.
don't know. I don't think it's the best magical girl show.
And
I wish it would be.
Homura. He loves his Homura.
I don't.
Homura, my
I
Homura.
can definitely say it's not my favorite magical girl show, but as an anime, it's just really good. My favorite magical
it's above
shows
average
are
anime.
the ones that kind of, do that stereotypical magical girl thing. The transformations, fight the bad guys, really ridiculous. At that point, I don't care if it's really good or not. If it does end up being really good, then that's awesome. But like,
Yeah, I mean, you just have to feel that it's good, right?
If it feels
It doesn't have
good,
to
it
be
is
actually
good.
good.
This is getting creepy now. You just have to feel that it's good. Trust me.
Well, 'cause
It's
Sam's the filthy
okay.
casual, so he just watches shows that make him feel good, regardless of whether they are good.
Well, Sam's the
Feels
hipster.
good, man.
why watch everything when I can just let you guys watch all the shit and then just tell me if it's good or not?
Hey,
You
who
haven't even
says I
finished School
watch
Live.
shit?
No, I'm with Mac. I'm saying me and Mac. Like, we'll just sit back and let you watch Your Lie in April, and
Sam, once you watch that show, you're gonna eat your words.
Why?
That show's
Why
fucking-
would
I
you
have
do
finished
this to
that.
me?
I believe I had not finished it by last episode, but I
I'm
have
just,
finished that.
I'm just
and-
making fun of it because Mac always does. But I heard it's really good. But
And it's
It
like
is
since I was
really
watching, I just gotta tell this real quick. So since I was watching Your Lie in April with my stepmom as her first anime,
yeah,
she then texted me this week early saying that she specifically said anime depression sucks, except she spelt anime ANAMAE.
oh yeah, I saw that. When you said it in the chat.
That's the Japanese way to spell it,
Yeah.
Anime.
or it's the French way with a bunch of extra letters.
But I think we can all agree though that there are those things about, let's say, 3 to 5, maybe 3 to 6 ironclad women, whether that's a freaking lolly dress or a battle suit, coming together as a team and fighting the bad guy. That's really fucking cool in anime. And for me, I don't know why, but I am more
Yeah,
geared
and that's
towards
why
the
I mean,
ones.
say Madoka's the thematic end to magical girls. There's always gonna be those shows that still do what magical girls were before.
No, it's fine. I'm just saying we've talked about it enough. Like, by
Sounds
yourself.
Like, fuck this show.
Yeah, like.
Shut up, you Homura lover.
But
I'm gonna
freaking.
do nothing wrong.
But yeah, no.
Homura.
My final thought is, if you want to watch something really good, definitely watch Madoka Magica. If you want to watch something that just like fun, just ironclad girls using relics to fucking go in armor and fight bitches, Symphogear. It's really fun to watch. That's my final thought.
Yeah, and if you want to watch something shit, watch Fake College Liner Prisma Illya.
Signed.
You don't know joy until you have seen Kuro and Ilya magic transfer.
Dude, I saw the
Okay.
YouTube video where they were making out at the pool, and I had to like delete my browser history. I'm on a list now or something.
I'm sorry, Kamcheka, I can't take you seriously.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. On
That
a
was
side
my
note,
thoughts.
I was listening to what is it, the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast, and they
Shout
actually
out.
at one point said, yeah, shout out to I can't remember any of their names right now.
Triple A. We're just gonna call them Triple
Yeah,
A.
AAA podcast. Mitsuki, that's one of them. They all use like Japanese names for some odd weeaboo reason.
Freaking
Shout out to
weeaboos.
Shout out.
But they actually said that people that are in to stuff involving lolis, that there's something wrong with them.
That they
and
should
that
die in a
they should be identified and get help. I was like,
Really?
Kwoka, all
Yeah.
I gotta say to you is don't lose your way.
I mean, okay,
Just-
look, there's.
love who you love, man.
Let me tell you something, other podcast, okay?
I think he's liking it ironically. He's not like going around like actually, practicing what he's talking about. So.
Right, exactly.
Well, I'm just
There's-
saying,
It's a cartoon too. It's not real.
Prisma Illya is
Whoa.
very awesome.
No,
Like it's just
and
solid, beautiful art,
Yeah.
and that's what
and
I'm.
some
and I-
things about it unbelievably sexy.
Right,
but
and when I
that's-
make jokes about Kwoka being a pedo, that's because he's my dude. I'm gonna fuck with him, okay? But like, here's the other thing, other podcast. Shut the fuck
yeah,
up.
like it kind of
Nobody
caught me
fucking
really off
cares.
guard. Like I wanted to, I was
Give him a
like,
shout out,
did they really just say that? Like they said that in all seriousness. It wasn't like a
No, that's
well,
fucking
no,
wrong.
I think that's one of the
what?
things where everybody nowadays is trying to be politically correct, and they're like, if you're a bad guy, you're really bad. Don't be bad. And like,
Anime is not politically correct and never will be.
I
So
mean, I'm
like,
still not-
yeah, anime's far from it. There's
I
incest.
still
Yeah.
when I'm on Faku, I don't go for the Yuri tag.
right.
It's just there's just nothing in that for me.
He
Oh,
goes
yeah.
for the
Something about-
Futa tag.
Gotta
I'm all
go.
about the
Gotta go.
I'm all about the
sad panda.
fuda. I'm all about the fuda.
All about that fuda.
Look, here's the thing, okay?
No dudes.
You know what? You guys are just taking shit way too
That's Kwoka's
seriously.
bumper sticker.
And you guys, you other podcast people, you probably just don't want to seem like pedos yourself, so you're just gonna say that all blatantly honest and shit. When really, you're probably in the closet, whacking it to a Prisma Illya body pillow. So like, when we don't go to watch anime to get a boner, we watch it for entertainment because that's what it is. Entertainment.
Unless we're your brothers.
The boners
Tom.
just come secondary.
Dude, Sam, tell him about your brother.
No, I'm not gonna say that.
Oh, I'll say it. His brother said he can't watch anime anymore because he gets boners.
Dude, don't fucking tell Sudi that we said that on the podcast. dude.
Shout out to Sudi.
Wow.
yeah. Yeah, shout out to that other podcast who said that.
I mean, I wanted to talk about Madoka more, but apparently Sam hates Madoka and doesn't want to talk
That can
about
be your
it.
final thought.
And that's cool.
I already made my final thought, and then we started talking
But
about
we
other
can
podcasts
do
about
our
how they
final
hate
thoughts.
everybody.
Shout out to RC Anime.
Pod
YouTube.
Taco.
Shout out to
Yeah,
Pod
shout out
Taco,
to
of
RC
course.
Anime.
Shout out to
Glass Reflection.
Anime Every Day. I love those channels. Yeah, Glass Reflection, I like his channel.
If you want to get on the show, just send us a tweet
Also,
at Anime Summit.
I'm just gonna
I'll
get some
tweet you
quick
back.
hits for like magical girl shows. So like my favorite ones: Princess Tutu, Revolutionary Girl Utena, Sailor Moon. Those are my favorite.
Pachi Puriuchi.
Wait, how did you
By
not
Studio
make a
Gainax.
shout out to Pod Taco?
I said shout out to Podtaku. And on their last episode, they said someone's hot and they got a shout out. So Podtaku, you're hot. Now we're gonna get mentioned. Bam,
Yeah, Holden, you hot, dude.
you're hot, Holden.
Hit me up.
And by the way, when we talk shit about other podcasts, it's all in good fun. So shout out to you. guys.
Sam's
Still-
threatening to sex.
But still,
offender now.
shut the fuck
No,
up. And don't say
it's all
stupid-
in good fun, but like, damn, dude, you crossed the line.
No, seriously, shut the fuck up. Like, don't say
Don't be
stupid shit like
judging.
that.
Don't be
That's like
judging.
saying Nick, don't watch Dragon Ball Z because if you like Vegeta, that means you're a homo or something stupid like that. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
I mean, Nick is a homo, but
Can't help it, man.
anyway, I've been Kwoka.
I've
With
been
me
Sam.
has been
I've been
Mac,
Nick.
Sam, and the
Quack.
Space Duck,
Quack.
Quack.
and this has been the Anime Summit podcast.
Have a good night, guys.
Madoka Magica's
Oh.
mediocre.
Leave us some fucking reviews on iTunes so we can read them.
Sick of always feeling down and blue. Tired of being made the fool. I'm gonna give my all. Start tearing down these walls. Quit feeling so alone. Today I stand up on my own. So we'll get ready. Give a little love and soon you'll see. Everyone can live in harmony. It takes some time. Spread your wings and take flight. Sing your heart out, sing it loud. Let it echo all around. Step into the morning light. Come tomorrow, you're gonna shine. Want to see it through. There ain't nothing you can't do. Don't be shy.
If you like the show, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Anime Summit or leave a review on iTunes.